Imagine buying, a piece of software to help run your business. The pricing page says it's $99 a month. Seems perfectly reasonable, right?
Right. Totally normal.
You install it, you get back to work, and your business just explodes. But then, like a year later, you sit down with your accountant to review the books, and you realize that $99 a month software actually cost you $24,000.
Yeah, that is a really rough day at the office.
Oh, a total nightmare. Welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're looking at something that could literally save you from making a massive, six-figure mistake.
Which nobody wants to do.
Exactly. So we got our hands on this really comprehensive B2B comparison guide. It's titled Shopify Subscriptions Apps. Compare the top tools. And for you, our inherently curious listener, our mission today is very simple.
Yeah, because if you are setting up or scaling a recurring revenue business on Shopify,
Yeah,
the app ecosystem can feel like the absolute Wild West.
it really can. So we are going to cut straight through the marketing noise to reveal what actually drives subscription success.
Because it is incredibly easy to get distracted by, shiny features on a sales page. But when you build a subscription business, the infrastructure you choose right at the beginning fundamentally alters your profit margins for years to come.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because the core premise of this entire guide, the thing that really stood out right away, is that almost everyone evaluates these subscription apps completely backwards.
They do.
They look straight at the monthly sticker price to make their decision.
Right, and let's establish a ground rule for this discussion right off the bat. The monthly sticker price of a subscription app is actually the least important variable in your decision-making process.
Right, the least important.
The absolute least. If you are comparing a $50 app to a $99 app, you are looking at the wrong numbers entirely. The real cost and the real value is hidden in the transaction fees and the retention mechanics.
Which perfectly tees up this massive misconception in the space. The guide calls it the percentage fee trap. Walk us through this math, because it is exactly what I was talking about with that $24,000 shock in the intro.
It's a brutal trap, and it catches so many growing businesses off guard. Let's say you have a successful store. You've built up a subscription book of about $2.4 million a year in recurring revenue.
Okay, solid business.
Very solid. Now, a lot of the top-tier apps out there, they charge a flat monthly fee plus a percentage of your subscription revenue.
Yeah.
Usually that sits around 1 to 1.5%.
Right, and on paper, 1% sounds like nothing. I mean, it sounds like a rounding error.
Exactly, until you apply it to a high-volume business. A 1% transaction fee on a $2.4 million book costs your business $24,000 a year.
Wow.
Yeah, you are paying over $20,000 just for the privilege of the software processing your renewals behind the scenes.
That is more than a full-time subscription manager's quarterly salary, just completely gone, bleeding out to software fees.
Exactly.
It makes me think of an analogy. It's like choosing a vendor purely on a low monthly fee is like buying a massive delivery truck just because the monthly lease is $50 cheaper.
Right, but you're completely ignoring that it gets 3 miles to the gallon.
Yes, but I have to push back a little here. If the percentage fee is such a massive trap, and we're talking about tens of thousands of dollars evaporating, why would anyone ever agree to it in the first place?
Well, what's fascinating here is human psychology. Specifically, how founders evaluate software costs during the chaotic early days of a business.
Oh, when everything is just on fire.
Right. Businesses often don't model their true 12-month cost. They're entirely focused on launch day. They look at that flat fee of $99 a month, they see a great feature set, and they completely ignore the 1% revenue slice.
Because at the time of launch, 1% of zero is zero.
Exactly. It feels painless. But as that revenue compounds month over month, that fee becomes a monstrous invisible tax on their growth.
Okay, so if that percentage fee scales so poorly, nobody would use these premium apps unless they were somehow getting that money back elsewhere. Like, they must be saving money on lost customers. Is this where the churn tools come in?
You hit the nail on the head. If pricing isn't what truly differentiates these apps, the battleground shifts entirely to how the app handles customers who are about to slip away.
And the guide drops this incredible statistic regarding churn. It says dropping your churn rate by just 1% on a $50,000 monthly recurring revenue book is worth over $6,000 a year.
Which is huge.
It's massive. That beats almost any flashy new customer acquisition tactic you could try to pull off on Facebook or TikTok. So what does this all mean for the features we should actually be looking for?
It comes down to two major mechanical categories. First is something called dunning.
Which is such an industry term. What is actually happening mechanically when an app uses dunning?
Essentially, dunning is smart payment retry logic.
Okay.
So when a recurring charge fails, a basic app will just shrug, maybe send a generic card failed email, and cancel the subscription.
Just give up entirely.
Right. But a sophisticated app handles this dynamically. Good dunning integrates directly with Shopify Payments Card Auto Updater.
Wait, what does the auto updater do?
It actually pings the credit card networks to see if the customer was issued a new expiration date before it even tries to charge them.
Oh, that's incredibly smart. So the customer doesn't even have to know their card was expiring.
Exactly. And it analyzes historical data to retry the card on the days of the week it's most likely to clear. Plus, it sequences perfectly timed, personalized recovery texts or emails. Good dunning alone can recover 3 to 8% of your recurring revenue just running in the background.
Wow. And you said there were two categories. What's the second one?
The second critical category is cancellation save flows. You have to look at what basic apps offer versus the advanced platforms.
Right, because basic apps might give your customer a portal where their only options are to like skip a month or just completely cancel.
Yes, and advanced platforms intercept that decision entirely. They allow the customer to swap a product for a different flavor, maybe gift their next month's box to a friend.
Or use a dynamic build-a-box feature to customize their delivery on the fly. So if you are listening to this right now, and your current setup features a basic cancel-only portal with no alternatives, you are actively leaking revenue.
You absolutely are. You're forcing a customer into a rigid binary choice. Take the exact same thing again or leave forever.
And usually they just want a little variety. They're just bored.
Exactly. And if they do push that cancellation button, the advanced apps trigger SMS recovery or highly targeted discount offers right at that moment of maximum friction to try and save them.
Okay, so knowing that churn tooling and the percentage fee trap are the real battlegrounds here, I want to map these specific apps to the actual growth stages of a business.
That's a great way to look at it.
The guide structures this in a really logical way. Let's start at the very beginning, the testing stage. You have literally 0 subscribers. You just want to see if your audience will buy your product on a recurring schedule.
For this stage, the guide recommends starting with the native Shopify subscriptions app.
Because it's completely free, right?
Totally free. There are no transaction fees beyond the standard Shopify payments processing. And because it's built by Shopify, it uses their native checkout.
So no weird redirects or third-party billing risk for your customers?
Exactly. But there are obviously severe limits.
Yeah, I imagine you don't get all those fancy save flows we just talked about.
Oh, definitely not. It's strictly a proof of concept tool. It's for a simple, single SKU, subscribe and save model. You aren't getting any real save flows. Customers can't swap products.
And no custom dunning, I'm assuming?
None. And crucially, for a business owner trying to measure success, there's no real MRR analytics.
Wait, really? No monthly recurring revenue tracking?
No, you can see your total subscription count, but you won't get reporting on cohort churn or lifetime value. Very basic.
Got it. Okay, so it gets you off the starting line. But let's say you get some traction. You hit that early growth stage, maybe 1 to 100 subscribers. The guide points to an app called Appstle as the major value play here.
Yeah, Appstle is a massive player in this specific tier. It actually holds the highest App Store rating in the category, a flat 5.0 stars.
That's impressive.
It is. And the reason merchants love it is the pricing model. They offer flat monthly pricing with 0 revenue percentage taken.
Okay, wait, so you get full subscriptions, build-a-box features, all that stuff for just a flat fee.
Yeah, anywhere from $10 to $30 a month without giving up a slice of your gross revenue.
Okay, hang on. If Appstle is flat fee, includes build-a-box, and has literally 5 stars, why doesn't absolutely everyone just use that? What's the catch?
That's a totally fair question. It comes down to what happens when your business outgrows that early stage. Say you hit the scaling DTC phase like 100 to 1,000 subscribers.
The messy middle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Suddenly you aren't just running a standalone app anymore. You have an entire warehouse team, you're working with 3 different marketing agencies, and you have custom developers. Flat fee apps often start to break under that operational weight.
Ah, okay, so that's where a platform like Recharge enters the picture. The guide calls Recharge the market leader.
Right, and they command what we can call a maturity premium. When you reach real scale, every third-party logistics provider, every developer, and every agency already speaks Recharge natively.
It's basically the default language of the ecosystem.
Precisely. They offer affirm-grade analytics right inside the dashboard, incredibly mature dunning logic, and native gifting features. But, and this is a big but, they charge that percentage fee we talked about.
The 1 to 1.5% trap.
Yes, which punishes scale. Appstle saves you the transaction fee, but their weakness is, reactive support and less polished analytics.
Got it. So you pay a premium for Recharge's stability and ecosystem integration. Which brings us to the enterprise heavyweights. Stores doing above $50,000 a month in recurring revenue. The guide introduces Skio for this stage.
Yeah, Skio is basically the subscription model rebuilt for the modern SaaS era. It starts at a very steep price floor, around $599 a month.
Plus the 1% fee.
Yes, but they bring massive innovations that justify that cost at scale. First, they have native SMS dunning and save flows right out of the box, so you aren't duct taping 3 different apps together just to send a text.
Right. And didn't they pioneer that passwordless portal thing? The guide highlighted that specifically.
Yes, the Magic Link Customer Portal. It is widely considered the single biggest churn reducer at scale.
Why is removing the passwords such a critical feature? I mean, we all have passwords for everything.
Think about the actual mechanics of a forgotten password. A customer decides they want to push their next delivery back by a week. They go to your site, and they are prompted for a password they created like 8 months ago.
Oh, and they definitely don't remember it.
Right. They guess twice, they fail, they get frustrated, and instead of going through a password reset flow, that slight friction just pushes them over the edge.
So they just give up and cancel.
Worse, they call their credit card company to block the charge entirely, or they angrily email support to cancel everything.
Yeah.
Skio removes that barrier. They just text or email a secure magic link, the customer clicks it, and they're instantly inside their portal.
That is so smart. Removing even one click makes a profound difference when a customer is already agitated. Okay, before we move on to the next big topic, I want to quickly rattle off some honorable mentions the guide threw in.
Yeah, there are a few niche players worth noting.
There's Seal, which is the simplest paid subscribe and save option, and Loop, which focuses heavily on gamified retention.
Yeah, Loop is fascinating. It allows you to build unlockable tiers. So if the subscriber stays for 3 months, they unlock free shipping, or they get a free branded mug in their 4th box. It actively rewards longevity.
Love that. Then there's Bold, which the guide notes is stable but has kind of an aging UI. And Stay AI, which is an artificial intelligence retention layer starting at about $499 a month.
Stay AI is unique because it's highly predictive. If the AI notices a customer always skips their 3rd month, it automatically texts them on month 2 with a bespoke discount to prevent that churn.
Amazing. Okay, so you map your stage, you pick your app, and you're good to go. Except choosing the app is just step 1. An app does not exist in a vacuum.
Not at all.
It has to talk to the rest of your tech stack, and more importantly, it has to answer to the government.
Ah, yes. The legal iceberg.
Yeah.
This is a very sobering reality check.
Yeah.
Regulators on both sides of the Atlantic are now treating subscriptions as a high-risk consumer category.
Right. The US FTC has that click-to-cancel rule, meaning canceling a subscription must be mathematically as easy as signing up for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You absolutely cannot force a customer to call you on the phone between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. to cancel a subscription they bought online with 2 clicks at midnight.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. We talked earlier about those amazing save flows offering a discount when someone hits cancel. But the guide warns that overly aggressive save flows can actually become a regulatory risk.
It's true. Regulators despise that behavior.
It's like having a clingy ex who physically holds the door shut when you're trying to leave the apartment, just constantly asking, wait, are you sure? What if I give you 20% off? What if I change?
That is the perfect analogy. And the guide is very careful to point out that while platforms like Recharge, Appstle, and Skio all allow you to offer dynamic discounts, the final cancel button must never be gated.
Or hidden in tiny gray text at the bottom of the screen.
Exactly. You can show the offers, but that final escape hatch must always be clearly visible and 1 click away. Advanced apps make compliance easier, but they don't make you automatically compliant.
You still have to actually configure the settings legally.
Yeah.
And that configuration extends to your tech stack, too.
Right. An app's real job is to emit clean events to the rest of your digital ecosystem. It needs to securely tell tools like Klaviyo for emails, PostScript for SMS, or ShipBob for fulfillment that a subscription was just created or a charge failed.
But the guide makes a huge distinction between generic webhooks and native connectors. What's the difference?
It's a critical technical distinction. A basic webhook is essentially your app shouting a message into the void, hoping your email platform catches it.
Sounds risky.
It is. If an app only offers basic webhooks, you are going to spend weeks paying a developer to build custom glue code. Native connectors, on the other hand, are a direct, verified handshake between the two platforms. They are completely non-negotiable for a scaling brand.
Okay, let's pivot to something genuinely painful. Let's say you're listening to this, you've audited your current app, and you realize you are trapped in the wrong one. You have to migrate.
Oh, migration. It is arguably the most dangerous operational maneuver a subscription business can ever undertake.
The guide is brutally honest about this. They explicitly say you should pick an app for your next 12 months of scale, not your first 100 orders, specifically to avoid switching. Why is it so dangerous?
Because you are moving live recurring financial tokens from one vault to another. A financial token isn't just a credit card number, it's a highly encrypted key. If that key gets corrupted during a sloppy data export, you literally lose the ability to charge your customers.
So you'd have to email them and ask them to re-enter their credit card details.
Yes, and industry data shows that up to 40% of customers will simply ignore that email and churn instead.
That is absolutely terrifying. But if you have to switch, the guide provides a 5-step safe migration playbook. Let's walk through it quickly. Step 1 is auditing your current selling plans.
Right, because the migration is only as good as the inventory data architecture you bring over. You have to export every discount, every frequency rule, all of it.
Makes sense. Step 2, use the destination vendor's migration tool. So no DIY import scripts.
Please, no DIY. Use the dedicated import flows from the new vendor. Step 3 is crucial for safety. Run a parallel billing test on just 10 to 20 subscribers.
Whoa, so you don't just blindly flip the switch for everybody at once.
Never. You watch one full monthly charge cycle occur, you confirm the card's charged correctly, the emails trigger, the order tags show up.
Okay, step 4, communicate. Email, and ideally SMS, your subscriber base in advance to tell them their portal URL is changing.
Because if you try a silent migration, you will wake up to a mountain of angry support tickets from confused customers.
And finally, step 5, switch the DNS routing and theme blocks, basically rerouting the traffic to the new portal.
Once you do that, you monitor everything like a hawk for 14 days, and crucially, you keep the old app installed in read-only mode for at least 30 days. That is your emergency rollback plan.
Okay, if we connect this to the bigger picture, the final expert warning from the guide is really profound. Do not migrate just to save 1% on fees if your current churn tooling is working well.
It's entirely true. The operational cost of switching staff time, support tickets, the guaranteed churn bump from confused customers, it almost always exceeds whatever you save on fees in year 1.
You only do it if a massive feature gap is holding you back or the fee has become a crippling burden. Okay, we have covered so much ground today. Let's synthesize this journey.
Sounds good.
When evaluating Shopify subscription apps, do not get blinded by the monthly sticker price. Evaluate them on their dunning capabilities, save flows, and API depth. Model your real 12-month cost to avoid the percentage trap, and match the app to your specific growth stage.
It really is about forming a strategic partnership, not just installing software.
Right.
But I want to leave you with a final thought, building on that compliance discussion. If we connect this to the bigger picture, as regulators globally force one-click cancellation to be the mandatory standard.
Right, no more clingy X's holding the door shut.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Businesses will no longer be able to hide behind confusing portals or tricky save flows. If it is effortless to leave, the only way to retain subscribers going forward will be the undeniable quality of the product itself.
Which raises a really important question.
It does. The question you have to ask yourself is, how would your subscription offering fare if there were zero friction to cancel today? Would they stay because they love the product? Or are they only staying because it's slightly too annoying to leave?
Wow. That is a phenomenal reality check to mull over. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Hopefully, we've helped you navigate the app ecosystem and saved you from a 6-figure mistake. Take these insights, model your 12-month costs, and go build a subscription business that actually compounds.